Let's get down to business. Episode 1, Season 1, Cards and Cannabis. Let's go, baby. Brought to you by none other than Excess Energy Drink. Zero sugar, all the energy. Also brought to you by Perfect Blast, your source for infused beverages. Check them out on Instagram, Perfect Blast 1. And let's get into it. Cards and Cannabis. Where are we coming from? Back in the day, brothers had waves, right? You know what I'm saying? Gazelle shades. Oh, don't make me get into it. Man, as a kid growing up, I loved baseball cards. My cousin got me in the hobby and I was hooked. Jose Canseco had a rated rookie. I had to have it. Upper Deck rolled out. Ken Griffey Jr. was the guy. We had to do it. The Big Hurt, Frank Thomas, that was my dude. In baseball, Emmitt Smith was my guy coming out of Florida. In football, man, I got really into collecting cards. And till that day, baby, till that day, I came home from high school football, and Mom was like, don't go down the basement. I'm like, why don't go down the basement? She said, I tried to save as many as I could. Hit me in the heart. I already knew what happened, man. Basement flooded out. So long story short, every time I traveled from this place to that place, I'd always take this box full of nostalgia, full of all the memories I had collecting. And it wasn't until 2020 when that thing happened and we were stuck inside with not a lot to do. I was like, I'm going in the crawl space. I want to see what's up. And I went in the crawl space and I pulled out the boxes and I'm looking through, and to my surprise, Mom legitimately saved 95% of the collection. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, man, I said, did it appreciate? Do people still buy cards? I mean, what's up? And I went online and I was flabbergasted by what y'all was doing. And the hobby was alive and well. Obviously, prices spiked to the moon during that time. But it got me back and got involved and engaged. And it brought us to today. And during that same time frame, 2020, the state I live in elected to make cannabis legal. And I had been waiting for that longer than I was waiting for the resurrection of the card business. And it was just a marriage made in heaven. And needless to say, that's where we are today. So Cards and Cannabis, here we are, here we go. First card, I want to highlight one that is special to me. Not necessarily my favorite card, but to me, it's a great way to start out. And that's none other than 1998 Topps East-West. This is a base, not the refractor. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. What a better way to pay homage to the GOAT, to the second greatest basketball player ever. Be a conversation for a later date. But what a way to honor the best from the East and the best from the West, especially for us 90s kids growing up. East-West was a big thing. They made a big deal about it. And this card is special in the sense of who it's graded by, because it's graded by Beckett. I grew up with Beckett. I had a subscription to Beckett Monthly. You would always see the mint near mint, but that's all we had to go based on what the value of the card was. And it was a dice roll in some sense. I mean, man, since going back with some of my old cards and submitting them to get graded, and you start to find out what OC means. Like, you know what I mean? Like cards, you know, great that the grading community has come out and kind of given us a consensus, a standard as to what to go by. But this card here, Beckett has given it a 10 on centering, a 10 on corners. That's 2 10 subgrades out of the 4. A 9.5 on edges, and a 9 on surface. What a beautiful card. One of my favorites. Definitely out there searching for the refractor. But, man, what a great card to start the conversation off with. And what a great tribute to those two individuals, even in 1998. Not necessarily the time that Kobe was popping off, just getting into his own, about to do what he did with Shaq, coming up in 2 years from that date. But man, let me tell you what. Another piece of history from the past. The cannabis that we're going to be reviewing today is that legendary strand, and I'm using leafly.com. And we're going to be talking about none other than J1, also known aka as Jack 1, also known as J-1. But Jack 1 is one of my favorite OG strands. And I legitimately, until the legalization of bud, I mean, you got to figure where we come from. We only had Kind Bud, Northern Lights, or you had mids. We used to call them mids, and then Reggie. Everybody knows Reggie. Seeds and stems, that compressed brown weed, give you a headache, but you smoked it anyway. And it's like, Jack 1 is such a great strand, and some of the highlights of the strand are being energized, according to Leafly. They have being focused, uplifted. Negatives, dry mouth, cotton mouth. Well, we got a solution for that excess energy drink available at avagrace1.com. And dry eyes, that's always something that we want to get around. Remember back in the day, you had red eyes. You used to have Visine on you because you didn't want mom to know. Say, what's up with you? You sick? You got something wrong with you? Anxious, anxiety. Hello, we're in 2024. It is a time of year and a certain cycle in the American culture that brings a lot of stress and anxiety. And what better way to deal with the stress in a fashion that won't send you off the rocker? I mean, there was a point in my time where if I was feeling blue, feeling down, feeling a little maybe sad or whatever, I would self-medicate. And my choice of self-medication was happy hour. Let's have a drink. Let's go out. Only to come to find out that after happy hour, you get headaches, whether it be waking up the next day from dehydration or whether it be from getting pulled over and getting a citation, or just for the pure fact that that whole rehydration process to get my mental clarity back, the older I got, the longer it took. So when my state legalized cannabis, I was definitely excited and definitely happy. Jack 1, this is to you. That's it, baby. That's it. Let's go. So, needless to say, we always want to pay homage. It's a gift from God. It's not manipulated. You go back and you listen to some of the old threads from Bob Marley and the Wailers, right? And they was talking about it all the way back to before I was born. And you start to look into the research. Rick Simpson, notably, scientist that basically had his work pushed down, and I believe they even got rid of most of his work. He went overseas to do most of his work, but a lot of his research came out and showed that there are a lot of benefits to cannabis and what it has the ability to do. So I want to celebrate it since it's had such a negative connotation for so long. And understand this: if cannabis isn't your cup of tea, then maybe this podcast isn't for you. I'm just going to cut right to the chase. I'm not out here looking for likes and clicks. I'm just looking to find people who are like-minded as I am, with my enthusiasm for collecting, trading cards, collectibles of that nature or whatever. And I don't like to drink alcohol and do any of that at this stage of my life, but cannabis has got me. I love it. And I think that when you are of age, if that's something that you are choosing to reduce stress, anxiety, then maybe Jack 1 is for you. But that's up to you. Everybody's got a choice to make. Let people make their own choice. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be bringing these episodes. I'm excited to start to get out. I'm big into going out and meeting and seeing who else is kind of like-minded like myself. I like going to shows. I like going to The National, I did not get a chance to go to Fanatics, and I know the hobby is taking a transition right now and pivoting from where it was when I found my resurgence 4 years ago as to where it is today. I'm a collector by choice. This isn't me trying to peddle this card so you can buy it. This is my personal card in my collection. I'm choosing to keep this unless I get a 10 or a black label, which if you don't know what they are, we'll get into that. And we are in no rush. In my side of the East Coast, everybody is busy. Everybody is anxious and running around, and traffic is a you-know-what. And we're going to just take it at a slow pace. And that's the way we're going to do it. So I want to thank all y'all for coming out. If you want to hit that like, smash the subscribe. You know, you want to comment down below. Maybe some of y'all are enthusiasts in the same thing that I am. Let us know what's up. You know, we're going to have our Instagram set up and posted. And we got our sponsors in play who are helping us make this all possible. And we're just going to have fun. So we'll catch you at the top, baby. Let's rock it.